Good day everyone, I am Maynard Lapus and I am going to discuss to you about EDUC 211 Facilitating Learning, topic number 3, Learning and Motivation. Topic number 3, Learning and Motivation, Learning Outcomes. Number 1, understand the meaning of learning. Number 2, identify the seven different kinds of learning and 8 metaphors of teaching and its implications. Number 3, understand the meaning of motivation and the factors affecting it. Number 4, distinguish between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Number 5, explain the different theories on the sources of intrinsic motivation. Number 6, discuss the importance of student diversity in motivation. Here we have the advanced organizer for topic number 3, learning and motivation. In this topic, topic number 3, we will discuss about learning and motivation. We will discuss about the under learning, we will discuss about the 7 different kinds of learnings and the 8 metaphors of teachings. And in motivation, we will discuss about the two types of motivation, the theories on factors affecting motivation, and the student diversity in motivation. What is learning? Learning is defined as any relative permanent change in behavior that occurs as a result of practice and experience. 7 different kinds of learning and its definition. Motor learning, number 1, the process of acquiring and perfecting motor skills and movements, either simple acts of complex sequences of movements. Verbal learning, a type of learning that involves the language that we speak which is used for communication. Number 3, concept learning, a type of learning that requires higher mental processes such as thinking, reasoning, and intelligence. It is useful in the recognition and identification of things. It involves 2 processes, abstraction and generalization. Number 4, discrimination learning, a type of learning that takes place when a learner is able to differentiate between stimuli and showing an appropriate response to stimuli. Number 5, learning of principles. Individuals learn principles that are related to science, mathematics, grammar, etc. in order to work effectively. It always shows relationship between 2 or more concepts. Number 6, problem solving. The type of learning uses cognitive abilities such as thinking, reasoning, observation, imagination, and generalization. And number 7, attitude learning. Attitude learning is a predisposition which determines and directs an individual's behavior. Each individual develops different attitudes from their childhood about the people, objects, and everything that he or she knows. 8 metaphors of teachings and its implications. Number 1, learning as transfer. Knowledge is portable stuff that can be passed around and the learner is container. Number 2, learning as connective change. Observable behavior can be changed by the instructor that needs to have objectives in terms of desired end behaviors of the learner. Number 3, learning as computing. The mind is a computer that processes large quantities of data. Learning is a process of reprogramming mental structures. Number 4, learning as building connections. The human brain is like a neural network where learning is the strengthening or weakening of pathways of neurons. Number 5, learning as self-organization. Humans are self-organizing systems. that continuously produces its own components and organization in the context of being embodied and embedded in a culture and history. Learning is the emergence of new knowledge based on all these contextual factors. Number 6. Learning as propagation. Cultural ideas are transmitted through humans who act as hosts and transmitters of these ideas. Number 7. Learning as coordination. Knowledge is distributed and does not reside within any individual. Number 8. Learning as participation. Learning is also distributed but is also found in the social interaction among individual learners. It is always associated with a community and happens through joint actions. And now we are in motivation. What is motivation? Motivation is a process whereby a goal-directed activity is instigated and sustained. Motivation is an inner drive that causes you to do something and persevere at something. It energizes you to do something. It is the strength of the drive toward an action. Motivation refers to the initiation, direction, intensity, and persistence of behavior. Learners' motivation is the primary factor influencing both performance and success in school. Two types of motivation. Number one is intrinsic motivation, when the source of motivation is from within the person himself or herself or the activity itself. It is motivation to engage in an activity for its own sake. An example is when a student reads the packet books because he or she wants to read them or because reading them is in itself worthwhile and enjoyable. And number two, extrinsic motivation, when that which motivated a person is someone or something outside him or her. When a student studies because he or she was told by his or her teacher or because she is afraid to fail his or her parents, will make her or him stop schooling or because it will lead to a good grade, we can say that she is extrinsically motivated. Theories on factors affecting motivation. Number 1. Attribution theory. This theory explains that we attribute our success or failures or other events to several factors. For instance, you attribute your popularity to your popular parents or to your own sterling academic performance, or you attribute a poor economic condition you are in to the land reform of the Philippine government, or your lands were subjected to land reform, or the biases of your father. Attributions differs from one another in three ways: locus or place, stability, and controllability. The second theory on factors affecting motivation is the self-efficacy theory. A sense of high self-efficacy means a high sense of competence. Self-efficacy is the belief that one has the necessary capabilities to perform a task, fulfill role expectations, or meet a challenging situation successfully. The number 3 theory on factors affecting motivation is a self-determination and self-regulation theories. Students are intrinsically motivated when they have sense of self-determination, when they believe that they have some choice and control regarding the things they do and the directions their lives take. A student's sense of self-determination is demonstrated in his capacity for self-regulation. Self-regulation refers to a person's ability to master himself. Number 4. Choice theory. The choice theory is a biological theory that suggests that we are born with specific needs that we are genetically instructed to satisfy. All of our behavior represent our best attempt at any moment to satisfy our basic needs or genetic instructions. Choice theory considers four psychological needs that must be satisfied to be emotionally healthy: belonging or connecting, power or competence, freedom, and fun. Number 5. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory of motivation which states that five categories of human needs dictate an individual's behavior. Those needs are physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. Here you will see the five categories of human needs and examples. You will see also in the second pyramid how motivation increases or decreases as needs are met. Goal theory number 6 is an overall approach to motivation that emphasizes the needs to establish goals as intrinsic motivation. A relationship exists between goal difficulty, level of performance, and effort involved. This relationship will remain positive, so as long as the person is committed to the goal, he has the pre-existing ability to attain it, and doesn't have conflicting goals. Goal theory states that several conditions are particularly important in successful achievement. These include goal acceptance and commitment, goal specificity, goal difficulty, and feedback. Motivation towards goal-oriented learning is influenced by the following variables: mastery goals, performance goals, and outcomes. Students' diversity in motivation. Our students' motivation may vary on account of age, gender, cultural, socioeconomic background, and special education needs. Our class is a conglomerate of students with varying ages and gender, and most especially cultural background and socioeconomic status. Our students' motivation drivers reflect the elements of the culture in which they grow up: their family, their friends, school, church, and books. To motivate all of them for learning, it is best to employ differentiated approaches. Two principles to consider regarding social and cultural influences on motivation are: number one, students are most likely to model the behaviors they believe are relevant to their situation. And number two, students develop greater efficacy for a task when they see others, like themselves, performing the task successfully. This is the end of our discussion. Thank you, and may the Almighty God bless us all.